So Diddy now have more federal charges as of today. Well, I believe it was yesterday, but it is now released today. He has now there's a third superseding indictment against Diddy. Okay? And so the federal prosecutors, they added two more charges to the charges he already had. And so I'm going to read this article to you guys. I do have I do have the actual court documents, but because it's so long, I'm not going to read the actual documents. Although there is something in these documents that I do want to show you guys in a little bit, but I'm going to read this article really quick so you guys can get a gist of what's going on, and I'm going to talk about it. And also bear with me because y'all know it's a lot of vulgar words that should not be said on this platform. So I'm going to try to work around those words. And it says federal prosecutors added two additional criminal charges against Sean Diddy Combs 1 month before he is set to go to trial in New York on trafficking charges. Prosecutors charged Combs with one additional count of trafficking and one additional count of transportation to engage in prostitution relating to victim 2, according to a superseding indictment filed Friday. Authorities alleged that conduct occurred between 2021 and 2024. Combs was previously charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution related to 3 victims and one count of trafficking related to only victim 1. He now faces 5 federal charges. Combs was previously charged with one count of racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He now faces 5 federal charges. Seems like I said that twice, right? Jury selection for his trial is scheduled to start on May 5th. Combs has pleaded not guilty. CNN has reached out to representatives for Combs for comments. Prosecutors allege Combs and his associates used his position of power to coerce women, often under the pretense of a relationship, into engaging in acts, according to the indictment. Prosecutors said during these encounters, known as, y'all know what the name of his parties was, I can't say that on here, FO, y'all know what those are. Women were rugged and forced to have X with male prostitutes. I'm trying not to say these words, y'all, but I don't know how to work around them. At least I'm trying. Those parties often lasted days and were video recorded and the indictment alleges. Combs' lawyers have maintained no crimes were committed and the sexual encounters were consensual and part of a long-term relationship. Combs is also accused of reacting violently when his authority was threatened. On one occasion, the indictment says Combs allegedly dangled a victim over an apartment balcony and was involved in kidnapping and arson. Ooh-wee. Prosecutors also revealed in a new court filing that 4 accusers are expected to testify at the trial. Victim 1, who was Combs' longtime girlfriend, is planning to testify under her real name. Prosecutors have asked that 3 other alleged victims be allowed to testify under pseudonyms. I wonder if they're going to let them do that. But it's possible. It's possible. That means we won't know who those alleged victims are if the courts allow that. This case has already received an exceptional amount of media coverage, which will presumably only increase as trial proceeds. Permitting these measures will prevent unnecessary public disclosure of the victims' identities and the harassment from the media and others, they wrote in the court filing Friday. In addition, prosecutors said publicizing the names of these 3 victims will cause them significant embarrassment, anxiety, and social stigma. The accusers have said they are concerned that their testimony will impact their personal relationships and future employment, the government said. According to prosecutors, the accusers' identities are known to Combs and his lawyers. Judges have allowed accusers to testify using nicknames or pseudonyms in other high-profile cases, including the ex-trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend and accomplice. Seemed like that was hard to get out. Anywho, he's been charged with more crimes, okay? And they not playing with him, because we literally only 30 days away. Tomorrow will make 30 days away from when trial is supposed to start, and they are starting to buckle down on everything that they plan on doing before trial start. And we expected, well, a lot of us did, that more stuff will come out, more charges will come. I believe there's probably going to be even more, and a lot of more motions will be filed before trial start. One of the things that I want to point out in this superseding indictment, let me go down, and I read most of this, but I want to show you guys. And this is the controlled substances that were used that we didn't know exactly what they were, but we just knew because they said that. You know, when it came to the baby oil and the spiked drinks and things, allegedly in the allegations that the alleged victims had and the stories that they gave, we knew it was something going on. And everything in this video was alleged, but we knew something was going on. We didn't know what. And I'm not going to say these words out loud because I can't say them on here. But let me see if I can make this bigger so that you guys can see. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you guys can read it for yourself. And you need to be looking at line or number, or line H, letter H. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Do y'all see that? Read H. Read H. That's all I can say is read H. There are several substances that is being alleged that he had in his possession, or either was spiking drinks with. I don't know exactly which ones they said happened with which substance, but these are the substances that were that is being said he was in possession of. Okay, how he used them, we still don't know exactly what they're claiming he did with them. But yeah, as you guys can see, if you read H, it's, oh my God, that's bad. All I can tell you is read H, because I can't say all these words. It's the METH one. It's the CO one. OXY. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. So it's insane that, you know, all this is going on, and that he was doing this, and if he was spiking people drinks with this stuff, and it can be proven, because they are saying that there are hospital records for some of the alleged victims, if not all, but I know at least some of them. And if they got proof that he did this, now let's not forget that when Diddy was arrested back in September, he was not arrested alone. They also snatched up the guy, I forgot to get the guy name, that's supposed to be his supplier. Okay? I wish I had his picture so I can show you guys, but you should know who he is, or you probably already seen him, because we talked about this before, and a lot of people is posting this. Okay? They let him go. They dropped the charges on him. And it said that when they arrested him, the day they arrested him, which is the same day that they arrested Diddy, that he had substances on him that day. So how is it that you got arrested for these type of substances, and within 3 months they dropped the charges? Nah, baby. Like I told y'all a few months ago, when they dropped these charges, I believe it was right before Christmas, that more than likely this guy is not he's not a defendant anymore. He is now going to be a witness. And if that's the case, who else can be better proof of the substances that was supplied at these parties than the person that was supplying them? Because that's what I believe. That's common sense. There's no way they would have let him off the hook for this unless he became a witness. And he was the one that was supplying these substances. Or at least some of them. I don't know how it's going yet. But they said he was the one who was supplying them. Okay? So how they drop the charges on him? They dropped the charges on him? And we haven't heard anything else about him? Not for real. Besides another case that they said that he's a defendant in, that came out days ago. And I'm going to talk about that later. A lot of people already reported it with, and they named Jay-Z, Beyonce, Adria English as a defendant. And I told you guys months ago that she was not. I did not feel that Adria English was a victim. She's actually an accomplice. And sure enough, now there is a case out naming her as a defendant. What did I tell y'all? I said that way back in the beginning of October, and all these people came to my YouTube channel, said, oh, you have that victim shaming, this and that and the other. It's common sense. Especially once you get to reading this stuff in depth. Okay? You'll understand. And listening to her interviews and stuff, I'll get on that later. Anywho, like I said, with this guy, they let him off the hook. You think they let him off the hook to walk away in such a high-profile case where he was the one who was supplying the actual substances that was causing these people to have a case to begin with? Y'all think they just let him walk away? Absolutely not. I truly believe that he is a witness. We're not going to know just yet. I guess we'll find out when trial start. Excuse me for my voice. I'm losing my voice. But anywho, yeah, I guess we'll find out for sure when trial start. But I just, honey, I know that he has to be a witness. They just didn't let him walk away. So for them to name all these things, and even if they had hospital records of some of the victims, would the hospital records show all of these substances in them at one time? Probably not. So then how would they know all of these substances was there? Unless it was somebody, a witness that could say, hey, it was more than that. It was this, and this. That's the only thing I could think of. Okay? Now, this is still fresh and new, and it's still so much coming out. It's so much. This case is all over the place. That's why I took a break from reporting what was going on. I still been keeping up, but I had to fall back because it's just too much. Anywho, tell me what y'all think in the comments. Tell me what y'all think gonna happen. But like I always say in every video, no matter what you think or I think, we are always proven wrong because something else happens that we did not expect. And I expect the same thing will happen in this case. Yeah, I feel like it's just so much more that we don't know yet. And it's going to get even worse. Now, I don't know how he's going to get out of all these federal charges. And the crazy part is there are so many people that is still saying they believe Diddy have a chance to get off this case. I don't understand how y'all believe that. I don't know. You obviously don't know how the feds work. Okay? You obviously don't know how they work. They don't come for you unless they have proof. It's very hard to beat a federal case. Very difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. Because they do their homework. They have proof. And the type of proof they usually have is proof that you cannot deny. So whether that's video evidence, pictures, or strong witnesses, surveillance or something. So I don't know. I really hope that, you know, they allow this to be televised, but so far nothing has been televised, and that's not gonna happen. I'm sure of that. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna have to get bits and pieces. They are already afraid of allowing the alleged victims to come forward and reveal their identities. So yeah, that's just not gonna happen. But man, if I could be a fly on the wall. If I could be a fly on the wall. But anywho, I'll keep up with this case. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. And until next time, I'm out. Bye, y'all.